Hey, I'm Never Real Nobody, and this is the Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, Episode 7, Fall from Grace, review. My God. So I want to apologize ahead of time, guys. I am fighting a cold right now, so if I feel a little funny, a little stuffed up, that's why. We get illnesses down here in another realm as well. So, alrighty. So, Fall from Grace. The basic premise here is, Sonya is going to need a lesson in teamwork. That Stryker, to a lesser extent, Nightwolf, everyone's trying to teach her. However, it's coming at a horrible time because Shiva and her army are trying to attack. So we kick things off. We're at a volcano. It's an active volcano, but it's like a crater inside of it. It hasn't quite erupted just yet. Shiva and the Shokan show up. And of course, she's just like, secure the perimeter, kill anything that's here. And of course, the defenders show up, and that's the whole, fight right there. So basically what happens is they're fighting everybody, doing pretty good. Defenders are holding their own. However, there's a big explosion, and rocks topple down, and it traps Sub-Zero's foot. I assumed that was going to break his foot. Like, somehow it doesn't. But either way, he's trapped right there. Stryker's trying to, pry it open. And Sonya's like, I'm going after Shiva. And, of course, Stryker's like, hold off. Just a second. We'll help you out. You need backup. She's like, there's no time. Combat time. She says combat time like 2 or 3 times. So anyway, she takes off running. And of course, at this point, Sub-Zero's like, oh, what the hell? So gets, Sub-Zero loose. He's hobbled, but he's like, I'm good. Go after her. So, as she's going after Shiva, there is a lot of smoke in the air, but once it clears, Shiva throws a fireball. Stryker pushes Sonya out of the way, but he takes it right in the shoulder. Or the arm, not necessarily the shoulder. Upper arm. Goes down, and of course, already he's pissed and bitching and moaning, why didn't you just, do teamwork or whatever. Anyways, they're being attacked, but, Jax and the others kind of, fend them off. And so, at this point, Stryker's just like, he should be suspended. And I'm like, since when did they make him, like, team captain? And I've been pushing for Stryker all season. You know that. I'm a Stryker fan, especially in the, Defenders of the Realm. But it is almost like, dude, you're not the boss. You're not even close to being the fucking boss. I mean, you should be lucky to be part of this group. But he's calling for it. And so anyways, the plan is they're going to, get Stryker out. Sonya's going to take Stryker back to the base while they try to, put the Shokans back into the portal. Because again, the Shokans, they're fighting back pretty good. So, at this point, Sonya and Stryker make it back to the base. Nightwolf's there. And he's trying to, of course, they got him healed up, but he's going to be out of commission for, a little bit. And so at this point, Raiden shows up, and they do kind of push through the suspension. They don't quite come out and say it, but it's like, yeah, you're going to stay here and watch after Stryker, and me and Nightwolf will go help the others fend off the Shokan. And as I first mentioned that too, that's an important part. Whenever Sonya jumps into the fighter jet to take Stryker back, she doesn't do a full, I forget what you call it, like some kind of protocol. And she's like, there's no time. And that's going to be important here in a second. She's like, there's no time for a protocol. We got to get you back, make sure you're safe. So anyways, Sonya's suspended, I guess. And so her and Stryker are there, and she's trying to buddy up and apologize, and he's just being a dick about it. And at this point, I'm thinking, like, okay, don't get me wrong. She definitely has this, like, I'll take it on my own, I'll go my own way or whatever type thing. Combat time. It's like the first time that she's just jumped headfirst into battle. That happened in her first episode as well. So she has a history of this, and it's going to get her in trouble. But at the same time, dude, they're really shitty to her. Like, everybody's just like, Sonya, you should. And I'm like, guys, should we really be handing out suspensions now? Like, seriously? Like, at this point, there is an invasion, and they're getting the upper hand. Maybe we can deal with that first, and then suspend her later. But I guess they really want to prove a point, so they, throw the suspension out now. Nightwolf did leave behind Kiva. He's like, she's better than any security system. Kiva will stay behind. He goes with Raiden. And it's kind of odd because, again, they're struggling with the Shokans. And I feel like Nightwolf is at full power when Kiva jumps into him. So he's not even going to be at full power. He's not even going to be full Nightwolf at this point. However, Raiden, he is a god. And you're thinking like he just go there and just lay waste, sorry. And just zap everybody. But he doesn't. He's focused more on the portal than anything else. I'm like, dude, just zap everybody. And then you can throw him into the portal. But he doesn't. So anyways, they're fighting, and that's, pretty much it. They keep cutting back to them, and they're, defending against the Shokan or whatever. So we get back to the base, and at this point, Kiva, she's freaking out. And of course, Striker's just like, I knew the dog was going to turn against me. Of course, Sonya's like, no, it's not that. Someone's here. And sure enough, the alarm goes off, and when they get on the cameras, Shokan, and it's a guy named Zenkara, and several Shokan henchmen are all there. So at this point, she's like, I'm gonna run, take him out, and he's like, no, again, you didn't learn a lesson. You got, listen to me. We got visual. I can lead you to how, we can take out their numbers first or whatever. And so as they're splitting up or whatever, she takes out the first group. She ends up hiding in a pipe, puts a bomb on it, drops it, traps them in one area, and then she ends up, I don't think she does really anything. She just kind of gets their attention, and she does blast something. That's what it is. It's, I guess, more of a distraction than anything else. Her line's pretty funny, though, because she's like, you didn't see me. I bet you guys wish you had 4 eyes. And the guy who turns around has an eye patch. So it's like, oh, shit. Oh, that guy's feeling like shit right now. So anyways, but Stryker opens up this, water main, and water shoots out and, flushes the Shokan out into, a little reservoir or whatever. Just, they're in a little chamber. So then, she ends up going towards, she goes back to the command center, and now they're breaking in. And they end up going after Stryker, who he picks up the chair, and I'm like, lunge it, but he just kind of holds it. And the guard just grabs the chair and fucking throws it aside. Before I can do anything, though, Sonya shows up, beats up the other Shokans pretty easily, and then she fights with Zenkara. And Zenkara throws her around for a little bit, but she eventually, does the kiss of death, kiss off, blasts him in the chest, takes him down. So anyways, at this point, going back to Raiden and the other defenders, they're like, we gotta get out of here. And he realizes, okay, this is pointless. And he just decides to shoot lightning into the volcano and make it erupt. And of course, everyone else is like, dude, a little bit of a heads up. He's like, yeah, sorry about that. And at this point, lava's just shooting everywhere. And of course, the others get into the jets and they take off. Shiva and the other Shokan are just like, all right, we'll get you guys next time. And then they take off through the portal. He seals it and he teleports out there. And so when they get back to the home base, they see that, the Shokan has been taken out. And at this point, he, grabs them all, levitates them, and, throws them into the portal. And I'm like, dick, you could have done that shit out there by the volcano. Why didn't you? Anyway, so he cleans up the mess. They end up cleaning up the rest of them down in that reservoir thing. And so they have their final little meeting, and they decide they're going to leave it up to Stryker. Again, giving this dude all kinds of power to decide if Sonya Blade is going to be suspended or not. And at this point, there's a little bit of a story arc, a little bit of conclusion here. Stryker and Stryker and Kiva are getting buddy-buddy, which up to this point, Kiva's always growled and barked at Stryker, and Stryker just openly hates the dog. But now he's petting her and shit, and they're buddies, so look at that. And of course, at this point, he's like, Sonya, I don't know if you're going to learn your lesson or not, but guess what? You're no longer suspended. It's lifted, and boom, we can get back out there. But she's not happy. And she explains she just kind of, maybe she was looking for an excuse to get out of this fight. She could have ran away from everything, took the suspension, and went home. Because she mentions earlier, her and Stryker both, they kind of have a bonding moment where they're both just kind of we're tired of fighting. All the fighting, all the time. And it is kind of yeah, that's got to get old. Because, at least in tournament play, it's once a year, once every 50 years or whatever, but it's like a weekend event. You fight, you're done, you go home. But here, it's like a full-on invasion, so they're constantly, and it's it's not going to end. This ain't going to be good for them, And they're not even attacking Outworld. They're just defending. So it's until they go on the offense, this will never fucking end. So it does kind of end on one of those kind of bitter notes, but it is what it is. An episode fades out. I enjoyed it. Again, Sonya Blade can be a little annoying in this series. The whole combat time thing's a little ridiculous. I do feel like they overreacted and punished her way too early. Get the job done first and then dole out. I guess that's the whole point. You know, we're trying to teach kids, hey, it don't matter if you're in a crunch. You do things by the book. It's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit, but whatever. They're trying to teach a lesson, I guess. You know, cool Shiva back. You know, Shokons, they're always a pretty good adversarial group. I think that's probably the better army that we've had so far, as far as like every minions, sub minions, or whatever. So yeah. So overall, give an episode a thumbs up. I enjoyed it. You know, and we get Stryker and Kiva buddying up now, so we got that going for us. So anyway, that's episode 7. So guys, what'd you think about it? Drop the comments down below. How's it compared to the other episodes so far? It's middle of the deck for me. I've yet to really sit down. We're getting too far ahead, so I can't keep track. I need to write them down, I guess. At the end of the series, I will rank my episodes or whatever, but as of right now, it's like, yeah, it is what it is. But that's all I got, guys. Thank you for watching, and till next time.